happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another mother, my guy Big Game James, and we are the best of enemies. We are back with another episode. Today we're gonna talk a little bit of everything. We're gonna do a little bit of a mock draft. We're gonna have some fun with this. But James, what's going on, brother? It's been too long. Been too long.
Been too long, 2 weeks, but you know what? I want to give you a big shout out and salute. Proud of you, dog. You went out there and did your damn thing out there on that combine. That was exciting. I've been to the combine 3 times, but one time I had a little pass, but it was a major like media pass. But I was able to do some things, and it was an awesome thing. My dog had an official media pass. Went up there, did the damn thing, getting them good ass interviews, people jacking your stuff, not giving you credit. It's all good, but you know what? The hard work is definitely paying off. I love seeing it. I love seeing how you did it. And everybody here in the chat, whether you're Cowboys or Eagles, you give my man Joe Castro a big ups. He had amazing coverage out there. Got good questions. Interviewed a lot of people. He was on your hustle. So salutes to you, big dog, and keep it up.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and thank you to you, because obviously we talked when I was on my way out there. We talked prior to me going out there, and I knew you had experience in stuff like that. So you were definitely a big help, and just a big like, Joe, you got this. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you get in there and you're just like, am I even supposed to be here? Like, look at all these people. But no, shout out to everybody that's been supporting, because it was an amazing experience. But I'll say this much. I never understood the thought process behind the combine, to be 100% honest. It gave me a new respect for what they do out there, especially the media portion of it. It's a really cool atmosphere to kind of be able to speak to these athletes, you know what I'm saying, just kind of break down their mindset. And some of these reporters are absolute savages, bro. Like, some of the stuff I was seeing, I was getting pushed, I was getting shoved. It was wild, but it was definitely a fun experience. And now we got a lot of ammo for this upcoming draft season. So I'm really excited to utilize all of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, look, there's been some things happening outside of the draft. So I want to kind of get to that first. And I want to, I'll start with the Eagles, because far too often I feel like I throw it all on you and say, what's wrong with your Cowboys? The Eagles aren't in a great spot right now. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. And anybody that tells you that we are is probably being a little bit optimistic, which is fine. There are ways that we can get out of this, but obviously we're losing a lot of players. It doesn't seem like we're really too keen on signing big contracts. So it's a little bit worrisome for the Eagles. Obviously, we're not a team that uses the franchise tag very often, if at all. I think it's like 5 times we've used it in like the past 20 years. It's ridiculous how little we use it. But at the same time, we do have some big names that we have to go ahead and re-sign. We obviously got basically a whole new defensive coaching staff. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Eagles are able to rebound from all this, loss and everything. Now, on the flip side of that, on the Cowboy side of that, it feels like you guys are just trying to maintain, and I hope that's a good word to use, but obviously putting the tag on Tony Pollard, it sounds like you guys want to keep an Ezekiel Elliott at home. What's the feel in Dallas? How are you guys feeling about what's going on with your team right now?
Well, it's the same thing. I think from our perspective of free agency, it's nothing new on our end. I didn't agree with the tag. I've been adamant against the tag on Tony Pollard, mainly because I feel like it's just a 1 year rental. You're not going to re-sign him to a longer deal. I don't like it for the players, especially a running back. Josh Jacobs, for example, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley both got tagged, right? Tony Pollard had a career year over 1,000 yards. Josh Jacob ran for 1,600 yards. 2,000 yards total from scrimmage, was an all-pro, but yet they're making the same amount of money for 1 year. That doesn't make sense to me. And, if let's say if Josh Jacobs gets hurt or Tony Pollard gets hurt, that's going to mess up your free agency down the line. Yeah, you got $10 million for 1 year, but you're looking for the future. And at the end of the day, you probably could have made more at the end of the day on a longer-term contract. You could have made more. So I just don't like the franchise tag and how it does it. it's hard for motivation for a player because it's just scary for a player because you already seen Pollard get hurt. Now let's say he gets hurt again on that tag. Is Dallas going to re-sign him? I doubt it. Is a top team? Is a team going to re-sign him? Because now they're going to start saying he's injury prone, right? So it's just bad business to me, that franchise tag. I'd rather they went and did a multi-year deal. Also, because that's $10 million just sitting there on one player now, and it's a running back. Why are you doing that? Because you can get dirty doing other things. As far as Ezekiel Elliott, I've been adamant. I said, hey, I love what Ezekiel Elliott has done in Dallas. I kind of have a feeling that they were going to bring him back after they re-signed DeMarcus Lawrence to that 3-year deal to kind of keep him in Dallas. I felt they were going to go the same way because they just really love Ezekiel, and he still has star power here in Dallas. People still love Ezekiel Elliott. He still sells tickets. People still love him. And if he's still in that aspect, Jerry Jones gonna want to keep him. So we already hear Jerry Jones saying, "Yo, we can financially make it work." I just don't see it because if you sign Ezekiel Elliott to a $4 or $5 million deal, it's still $10 million in that backfield. There's a lot of young rookies out there. You had a Malik Davis. Obviously, I seen it, the 12 touchdowns, the blocking, the hard running. We know there's not a lot of backs out there like Ezekiel Elliott, but once again, he'll be 28 this year. And I just feel like, the time is now. How much longer are you going to keep him? You're going to keep him 2 more years so he's 30 and miss out on some really good players. I just feel like, don't be a progress stopper like other players were that they keep in Dallas. And I feel like the money will make him play over. Maybe you get a rookie who's really good. Maybe you jumped out there and drafted a Bijan Robinson, right? Or a Zach Cabernet or a Tank Grisby or a Sean Tucker. Maybe you drafted one of those guys and they came in turning up. Well, because you love Ezekiel Elliott so much, Jerry Jones, is that rookie really going to see some shine? Is that, you know what I mean? And that money is going to probably keep him on the bench because it's probably not going to cost as much as Zeke. So that's why I worry about the weird dynamic with that, but we'll see. And then right now we're just kind of seeing what's going with. They're talking about Dak Prescott extending him. It's talk in the air, but it didn't sound so glowingly from the Joneses. And then, it seemed like Dak was just kind of like, hey, I'm going to go like how Steven goes. We'll just wake up one day and it'll be signed. So, it's just a lot of still kind of questions right there. That's still kind of bothersome, that dynamic between the Joneses and Dak. I always hear love, love, love. But then you hear Jerry Jones saying we can't sign players when you signed your quarterback to all that money. It's just kind of double talk, and I kind of just don't like that talk, and it just gives a vibe I don't like. Um, but we'll kind of see. I got some free agents that I just posted on my own page that I kind of would like, and the Cowboys to bring back, and they can make it work. But will they make it work? We'll see. They just got compensatory picks, but we know Steven likes to hold on the picks. They don't really wheel and deal them like crazy. So, it's kind of the same old thing in Dallas, and we'll just see if they try to jump out there and be a little different.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I know you guys did talk to Devin Achane even prior to the combine, I believe he said. So I mean, you guys had an interest in a guy like that. Maybe if Tony Pollard is going to come back, but maybe now that you have Tony Pollard back on that deal, do you maybe think they go in a different direction as far as running back? Because I still feel like you're going to get a running back because I was listening. I think I was listening to I want to say it was either your show or it was the Final Word, and you guys were talking about it. And it seems like they're not going to give Tony Pollard that long-term deal no matter what. So you still probably go out there and get another running back, but do you think that it changes the mindset of who you try to go get? Would you still be open to a guy like Achane, even though his, calling card is kind of what Tony Pollard does, that explosiveness? Like, do you think it kind of changes the mindset of the Cowboys going into this draft?
I think the only thing it may change the mindset is that Dallas tends to like to have workhorse backs, bell cow backs. You've seen Ezekiel Elliott, he was the bell cow. Before Ezekiel Elliott, it was the Marco Murray. He was the bell cow. You feel what I'm saying? So they like those guys that can get you 20 to 25 carries. That's what they like to do. Now I'm wondering what the dynamic is going to be because Brian Schottenheimer is now the new offensive coordinator, but he likes to run. Mike McCarthy said he wants to run the damn ball. So now I'm just kind of seeing. I don't think Tony Pollard is the 20 carry guy. I think he is best when he is fresh. So when it's good for him to have a second back, and I think it's good for him to have a workhorse back. So I think that's why they want to keep the Ezekiel Elliott in the fold. But as far as drafting, I would love Devon Chain. I feel like if you brought back Ezekiel Elliott and you kept a Tony Pollard, you need to get a Devon Chain. I know he's smaller, and that's not their calling card. But dog, the explosiveness that he adds to the team, the things that you could do with him, third down, in the screen game, get him in space. You could do multiple things with this kid, and he's legit with the speed. And he's not a guy that runs away from contact either. But I could see them going with more of the, like I said, the Tank Grisby, the Zach Cabernet, those are guys, the Tajay Spears, those guys, Sean Tucker, those guys that are 20 carry guys. I could see them going maybe that route, and some other backs out there I may not have mentioned, because if Ezekiel Elliott is going to be phased out, you want a guy who's a bell cow coming in. Tony Pollard, you're not probably going to keep and give a multi-year deal. He's going to be a rental, so you want to have a guy who's going to be there. If both those two leave, you got a guy who's still there getting 20 carries a game. So I think that's what may be the little change, because I would like them to get an explosive back, but maybe they might try to get a guy that's one of those guys that can get you some good explosive, but some guy that can really tote the rock for you. And I think that's what they might be looking for in my opinion.
I don't want them to get a damn thing if I'm being 100% honest, but hey, I feel you. I feel you. And this is the draft to do it.
What y'all doing with Miles Sanders, though, big dog?
Well, he's not coming back. And, I would love for him to come back. If he came back at a cheap rate, the Eagles do not want to pay certain positions over a certain price. That's what we've proven for a long time. And it's too.
I mean to cut you off. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat, because I can't really tweet or say anything to you because I'm not at my crib. So if I'm not saying anything to you, trust me, I see all y'all chatting and saying what's up. What's up to everybody, Eagles and Cowboys? What's up to everybody in the chat? Keep on coming
your girl
in.
Here, you better say what's up to your girl. That's
share, like all that good stuff. Share it. So if I didn't say it, hey, I didn't forget y'all. Now let's jump back.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 60 people in here so far. We're gonna get into the draft pretty soon. We're just gonna chop it up for a little bit. But no, I mean, look, the Eagles, like I said, they don't want to spend above a certain amount for certain positions, and it's been honestly to our detriment most of the times. Sometimes, it doesn't, kill us. But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is a good example of us just not wanting to pay over a certain amount, and it bleeds down to the running back position. I think that we see, and I give my team this much credit, that we aren't going to string along Miles Sanders, right? Like, we're not going to, and I'm not saying that you guys are, but, we're not going to tag him and be like, maybe we'll give you a long-term, but no, you go do your thing, dog. Like, we're just not going to give it to you. So, I respect that they're at least upfront and honest in that sense, but he's just not coming back. I think that the Eagles see that this draft has a bevy of good running backs. You can, like you said, there's a lot of good running backs in this draft. So you can get a day one starter in day two. So I'm not too worried about the running back position. It sucks to lose Miles Sanders. I think the biggest loss right now is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, to be honest, because it's just we've went through so many safeties. So yeah, I don't see Miles coming back.
And you traded to get him. That's the thing to me is like you traded to get him. I understand the Miles Sanders. We knew he was going to get paid somewhere else, so I understood that. And you already have backs in the fold, and like you said, this is the draft. You can get her back. And we keep seeing it time and time again. You don't have to get them in the first round. You get them later on, and they can still be very productive. But, yeah, that's kind of – I don't know if it's a head-scratcher, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he's not old. He's a young kid. You traded for him. He came over and turned up. It looked like a great fit. But, that cap, y'all kind of went all in and did some trades with some things, and now maybe get kind of tight. So maybe they're like, you know what, we like you, but we got to peel back a little bit because, we paid some money out now. Now they got a finagle and they can't keep doing that. So, that's kind of tough right there. How does Eagles land feel about that? A lot of people disappointed about that.
Yeah, it's bad, bro. We down bad. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I think that something changed somewhere because early in the offseason, I mean, even though that was only 3 weeks ago now, but early in the offseason, it was the mindset, or at least the news coming out, was that we were going to use the tag on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, even if we didn't get this deal done. for it to have gotten to the point where, a couple of days prior to the franchise tag deadline, they were saying there's no way they're even going to use it on him. To me, that says that he probably wants an exorbitant amount of money. Like if he's asking for anything above 15, I think that's kind of ridiculous. If I'm being 100% honest, I think it's not going to really happen. Maybe you get that with the Browns where you're not playing for anything come February, which if that's what, matters to, I think he's going to answer a lot of questions on his own. And I do like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, don't go get your money, just come play for us. But if he goes out there and gets like an $18 million contract with the Browns, I think that's your answer right there. You know what I'm saying? As far as what it was. But Eagles fans are definitely disappointed. I mean, I've said it before. You can go through, or maybe you can't because they're so bad, but you can probably go through all the safeties in Eagles, past 20 years and maybe pick out 2 or 3 good ones. Shoot, one of the ones that we gave up is now a free agent this year. Maybe he ends up back on the team, Jordan Poyer. I mean, we just have had terrible luck when it comes to the secondary in general, but the safety spot and more specific ever since Brian Dawkins left, outside of, Malcolm Jenkins and now Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for a year, we really haven't had good play. So it's scary because it's like you're going right back into the same cycle, and you finally got somebody that you felt like you could have for 5-10 years, and money's going to get in the way. But one thing I will say, I don't think that the conversations have completely stopped, and I do think that just kind of reading what I read, hearing what I hear, I do think that the Eagles are hoping that it comes down to a week or two from there, 2 or 3 weeks from now, after a week or two into the free agency, Chauncey's like, all right, I'm going to get at the most 15 somewhere else. Let me take $1 million or $2 million pay cut and go try and win a championship with the Eagles. Like I could see that happening because I think that's happening with a lot of our players. I think we're just trying to see and let the market kind of set itself before we do anything too crazy. So I'm not giving up on it yet. I'm not giving up on it yet. Maybe I should.
I think we're in the same boat as far as, that's how Dallas always does it. They wait and they wait. They let the players go see what their market value is, and then they come back and see it. Let's try to, negotiate. And I think that's what they're talking about, LVE. And they said their LVE and Donovan Wilson are kind of like at a standstill. But I think, if you already tagged Tony Pollard and you're not going to appreciate you for the $199 holler, Blake. If you're signing a Pollard already to a $10 million deal, Zeke Ellis, if you keep him, he's going to get some kind of money. They're talking about bringing Tyron Smith back, but they're trying to, restructure his deal to open up some money. If you extend that, money can be open. But in our safety position, we got Donovan Wilson, who a lot of people are saying we want Donovan Wilson back. And I want him back too. I like Donovan Wilson when he first got drafted by Texas A&M. I made a video, everything. I loved him. But he's going to want to get paid. He's going to want to get paid. And you already have 2 safeties on the roster that you got good deals for as far as money-wise they didn't kill you. I don't think Donovan Wilson wants to go that route. And I just don't see how you'll keep him, especially when you got an undrafted player from Florida A&M, I believe, from Marquise Bell, who, he played a little bit, and you could see.
I like him. Remember we were talking about him last year. Remember last year I put you on.
We talked about drafting him many times.
Yeah.
Right? He showed his diversity and his ability. So, if the Cowboys, one thing I know about the Cowboys, if you want money, they got a guy behind you, and he's young and he's cheaper, and they feel like he's almost as good as you or could be good, you're going to say bye-bye. So that's why I'm not jumping on the Donovan Wilson train as far as being re-signed, because they already got 2 safeties in the fold with money. Then they got this rookie, the second-year player who's young, right? And he's not costing a lot, and he can do a lot of things. I can see where they're like, hey, see you later, Donovan. We love you, but we're going to go another route. Yeah,
and that's kind of where we even are with the safety position. Look, I know Eagles fans are going to be like, Joe, you sound stupid saying this, but per PFF, which, I got a couple friends over there at PFF, so I respect their stuff. I just had Brad Spielberger on the other day, but per PFF, Reed Blankenship, the rookie undrafted, I think he was undrafted, rookie that we got, he actually graded higher than any of our other safeties, and actually it was like 10% higher, or 10 points higher than Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Now, in context, obviously Chauncey played way more time, had way more plays to kind of mess up that grade or raise that grade, and Reed was kind of in a small sample size. But that could be what the Eagles are looking at as well. The Eagles could be looking at that and saying, hey, maybe we got somebody that can hold it down. We have a lot of rookies that haven't been able to play, a lot of young players that haven't really been able to play because of the depth in front of them. Even last year, I was talking about the defensive tackle position and how we were like 5 or 6 deep, and we had guys on the, we have this guy, Janarius Robinson, I think his name is, from the Vikings that, yeah, he's supposed to be good. He's supposed to be really good. So, I mean, we got guys, we definitely got guys. It's going to be interesting to see how much faith we have in those guys. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, that's what the Cowboys do. They like to do it. Stephen Jones loves bragging on having homegrown talent. I think we're one of the neither number one or number two team in the league with homegrown talent. I think it's over like 77, almost 77% homegrown talent, and he swears by that, which I don't trip on that. But it's just the problem I have with this is this. He's always screaming, we want to keep our own. We want to sign our own players, build through the draft. We don't want to go hard in free agency. But when free agency comes up within your own team, players got to fight for their money. And, all of a sudden, well, we don't know if we can pay you because we got to pay him. Or so it's kind of like, well, why do you say how bad that you want to keep your own? But whenever the own comes up for a contract, they got to fight tooth and nail, and you always lowball the players and things of that nature. So are you really caring about the players? So that's where my confusion is when you're talking about you want to, keep your own. Why they always got to fight for their money like that? I get it's a business, but come on, man. Sometimes you got to reward these guys that are going hard in the paint for you that you want. Got to be able to do it. So, like I said, dog, we'll kind of see. I still always think it's always going to be on the lower end side of the money where it's always going to come. So that's all my mind is always thinking that any kind of player, it's going to have to be a low offer until, maybe they want to jump out there. But, they can get their hands dirty, Joe. We've seen time and time teams get their hands dirty, restructure, make it happen, rework money, flip a trade or two, flip some picks. I don't know if Dallas ever really does that any longer. This is an opportunity year that they can do it again. They got compensatory picks again. They got 9 picks right now in the draft. They can flip, they can maneuver, they can do things, they can get hands in the dirt, they can start reworking things right now, keeping things open, and bam. They said there was a big move coming. I feel like it's one thing, Des Bryant, the talk has been D-Hop, Des was with them in the video, and now they're talking that he's talking now. I won't take top end money. I'm willing to come down a little bit.
He's talking all the right stuff,
saying all the right things, but we always hear that in Dallas land, and then they don't sign them. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I don't, and I just one thing about this, and I just say this before I give it to you, Joe. A lot of people don't want Odell Beckham Jr. Okay. A lot of people don't want him. They'd rather get Hopkins. And trust me, Hopkins is an animal. He's a dog. But to me, he's like a CeeDee Lamb. Now, he's better than a CeeDee Lamb, but they're like the same type player to me. If we're talking about getting explosive, opposite player who's explosive, I feel that if his knee checks out, he's explosive, and he's what McCarthy wants for that type of offense. Slant patterns, hit you deep. He's a good route runner, speed. I mean, he offers a lot of those things. People are looking at the off field. I get it. But when people say he's a cancer, I say he has some issues in the Giants, right? The goofiness. When he was in Cleveland, I was out there in Ohio. It wasn't a cancer. That was Baker Mayfield being goofy, and Baker Mayfield's gone. You know what I'm saying? And he was making that video his dad dropped was true. Baker Mayfield was playing.
Facts, yeah.
Something, you know what I mean? He goes to L.A. There wasn't no problems in L.A. He wasn't a cancer over there. The people weren't saying we hate him over here. I didn't hear negative things when he left there. And even when I was in Cleveland, because I know some people in Cleveland, I know beat writers in Cleveland. They weren't, the majority of the locker room was not saying they hated on him. So I think he kind of got a bad rap in a sense. Dallas already courted him. And when they say a big move, I hear Jerry Jones talking to Odell Beckham Jr.'s mom. I don't hear him say anything about DeAndre Hopkins. Just saying.
That it'll be interesting. Somebody said in the comments that the big move is Jerry's getting a new yacht. I thought that was pretty funny. That's a good one. I like that. I feel like both teams, a lot of fans kind of have preconceived notions of how this is all going to work out. I think this is probably one of the weirdest years just because, I was talking to some guys about like the cap and everything this year and how it's still kind of bleeding over from that COVID year, that people are still kind of working everything out. And a lot of those contracts that they kind of pushed back from that year are starting to catch up with them. And you're seeing that from a lot of teams having to cut a lot of good veterans. So there's going to be a lot of good players out there in this open market, and especially in that second wave where I think the Eagles are very deadly. And you guys like to get your bites in at that point too, but that second wave.
We hit first wave. We second, we more third wave for real. We more third wave. But maybe it could be something different. Dallas showed me something. I made a tweet, Joe. Get your hands dirty. You got these compensatory picks. You can get dirty. This is who I said I wanted. I made my little updated free agent list. I had, DJ Chark and those guys, Deron Payne, but they are already talking about tagging Payne, so I moved on from that. Big move is not the Cowboys signing DJ Chark. Not to me. They like the glitz and glamour, right? So I just said, hey, if you did this in free agency, Dallas did this, I would be cool. I know people love Hopkins. I would love Hopkins, but I just because Dez Bryant has him in a video doesn't mean they're going to sign him, or in my opinion. But if you had an OBJ fully healthy and he was opposite of CeeDee Lamb, I feel like that gives an explosive element right there, along with the healthy Michael Gallup from the ACL. Then you got your second year playing Jalen Tolbert. You still got a fast guy in Turbin who can use some things. Then get a Bobby Wagner. So if you got a Bobby Wagner on the defensive side, that's a linebacker. You remove yourself from an LBE. You get a Bobby Wagner. He had over 80 tackles last season. Still didn't look like he fell off at all over there in LA, right? So he becomes your middle linebacker. You still got a Devin Harper. You got a Jabril Cox. You got a Damone Clark. You still can move Micah Parsons around to multiple spots, right? And then re-sign a Terrence Steele. He's on the tender. You sign him up. Jonathan Hankins, who is your middle guy. That's another. That middle is you got that secure. And then you re-sign a Dante Fowler, who's an edge guy, to where you feel good. Sam Williams, yes, year two, we like that. But Fowler came in there and played very well. He's only 27 years old, and he wants to come back. I think you bring that back in that little area and you draft, I don't feel bad Dallas in free agency, and I felt like, okay, we actually did a little bit in free agency if you do that, in my opinion.
That's kind of where I'm I made a video today basically talking about like everybody telling me that apparently the Eagles are going to be comp pick. I don't even know what that apparently that's all we care about this year. But no, I think it's funny, but at this point that's what we got to do. The Eagles, that's kind of what we have to do too. We got to kind of pick the best players out of the free agency bundle and then get in there and draft a good draft. So what we're going to do now is we're going to draft ourselves a nice little draft. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got almost 100 people between both chats. So definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe wherever you are. We appreciate you guys. But yeah, we're going to do 4 rounds.
Donation.
Yeah. So send that love. Let me see how this is gonna work best. Hold on, I'm gonna take down the graphics so I can see it a little bit better.
You're gonna have to probably tell me because I can't see really good because I'm on my phone. So just
here, would this be better? Putting it like that.
Yeah, that's better.
I'm gonna take down the chat for a second.
Yeah, chat. Y'all be all right.
We got y'all though. We still love y'all. I'm still looking at it. All right. So obviously we're picking both teams. Let's get to the draft. Let's get it.
I might get dangerous in this draft. I might get crazy in this draft.
I'm probably gonna piss some people off, and I can't wait to do that.
I'm gonna piss some people off in this draft.
Ooh, Joey Porter goes early. So I don't think it's that's really not a bad. See, I don't really like any of these. I mean, I don't hate them. but I want to take my picks. If this was like a 7-round draft, maybe I would do
Right.
that, but
We
no,
just
we're not going to do that.
we keep them.
So we're going to start here. All right. This doesn't happen much that you have Tyree Wilson actually available. They got weird rankings, so let me just get my basis real quick. So I just looking at it, did he already go? I'm looking for
Who we
Kalijah
got?
Cansey. Where'd they put Kalijah Cansey? Wow, they got him ranked at 71. Pro Football Network, they wildin'. They need to update these. But anyways,
They went crazy. Their rankings changed right after this daggone combine. You know how them guys are.
that's crazy. I love Kalijah Cansey. Maybe they just don't like his short arms. But honestly, I wouldn't be mad if they moved back a couple spots, took him, or even if they took him at number 10. But if Tyree Wilson's there, I find it very, very hard to not take Tyree Wilson. If I'm Howie Roseman, I would love, obviously, one of the top guys. They talked to Cam Smith at the combine, so that's a guy that they could possibly be enamored with. I would say Broderick Jones.
Number 1. Wow.
Yeah, I don't like these guys rankings. We're gonna have to switch to PFF pretty soon, but but either way. But
Here's Johnson. Whoa.
I could see Paris Johnson. I don't know if he goes that high. I could see it happen. Don't get me wrong. Paris Johnson is a guy that could sneak into the Eagles draft, if I'm being honest.
Right.
That's a guy I would not be surprised to see him sneak into the Eagles draft at 10. But all right, to not, because I know I ramble sometimes. I love Tyree Wilson. I think that the Eagles would love Tyree Wilson. I think that if he's there, it's a no-brainer. So I just want to make sure I pick the right person. So we're gonna go ahead and take Tyree Wilson at number 10. Shout out to while we got that rolling. Shout out to my guy Michael Johnson with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. And I think I missed one of yours too. Did I miss one of yours?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't miss one of yours. No, I didn't. She was just saying it again. So shout out to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, now we got the Cowboys.
Ooh,
that will give you more picks in this top 4 rounds. But would you want to move back 13?
No, I ain't doing that. We'll do all that trading when we go
down the line.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We got Michael Mayer as the top guy, Isaiah Foskey. Any position you want to look at, Jamar Gibbs is still on the board.
I already knew I'm going. Scroll up. Oh, you already know I'm. Keep going up.
This is the highest.
No, I'm talking about down. I mean, so I can see the draft.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Darnell Washington's an interesting guy.
I'm thinking, is Deontay Banks still available?
I believe so. I'd be surprised if they have him go that high. Yeah, he's still there.
I'm taking him.
Yeah, they got weird rankings. I don't really know about their rankings. Deontay Banks.
I'm taking Deontay Banks at 26.
Deontay Banks ran out of the gym. But him and his boy. What was his something Bennett?
Yeah, his Ja'Cory Bennett. That's the guy on the opposite side. He's very physical, but Deontay Banks is my guy. He's my pet cat. He's my favorite guy. One thing I needed to see at the combine was his speed. And even when I made my video about him, Joe, I said, I just need to see his speed because they're saying he's fast, but he was looking like a 4.5 guy, late 4.4, 4.5. When he hit that 4.3, and was doing the vertical, he has all the elements to be an all-pro. I love how he's sticky. I love his coverage. He sticks that his hand punch is ridiculous. His sideline is his best friend. The only thing, and I made this video about him, he's not a ball hawk. He's not a guy that's going to be like a Trevin Diggs who's going to get you a lot of interceptions. Doesn't have those ball skills like that. But to me, he has everything else. And if you're looking for a cornerback in the draft, and they are, I think this is a guy that I'm going with, and they would be foolish, in my opinion, to pass on a guy like this, especially when you have possibly Kelvin Joseph could be cut. You still don't know what's up with Nahshon Wright. Izzy Mukamu has come in and played like gangbusters. Deron Bland in there. But why not add a guy like this? And that's what I'm doing on my first pick of 26.
And they have 6, 7 different cornerbacks going in the top 30.
Mm.
That's
You
that.
know
I mean,
how
that could definitely happen.
they fall.
Say again.
You know, once one of them falls, they all fall.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So, all right, here for the Eagles, there's a bunch of different ways that the Eagles can go, and they're saying it's low. Is it my volume that's low, Dank, or is it his? Let me know.
It might be mine because I'm kind of far away. Like I said, I don't have it. So
I
can
tried
you
to
hear me?
turn you up through Restream. Just let me know it's not clear. I'm sorry, guys. It just
No.
let me know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, so all right, there's a lot of ways that the Eagles can go here. I really do feel like that. If
Mhm.
I'm looking at, obviously a lot of Eagles fans want running back, but I feel like you can get, and I'm looking at this like I'm Howie Roseman. I was able to get a premier edge. Right now, I might be looking. Now I might be, if they fall into this position where Darnell Washington is there or a Mike Mayer, I would not be surprised to see them take him. If I'm being 100% honest, I
Right.
wouldn't be surprised to see a DeJuan Jones go off the board, or Anton Harris go off the board to the Eagles. I'm gonna put my Howie hat on, and people ain't gonna like this. I know y'all not gonna love this, but I'm really trying to think actually because part of me is like he would take an offensive lineman here. Let me see what running backs are available before I make that decision.
I think he might. He could go offensive lineman. Aren't you losing that Suamalo or something like that?
Yeah, say Amalu. See,
Yeah.
I like Emmanuel Forbes. I don't like him in the first round, if I'm being 100% honest. But then
He
again,
like.
yeah, I like him. I don't know if I love him.
He only
Uh,
165 though.
yeah, he's a big boy though. He's a big boy. I didn't think that he would be that skinny. All right, so I know I take the longest to do this. I'm gonna think like Howie, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you're able to get a guy like Darnell Washington on this team, it's gonna be hard for him to say no. Now, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do offensive line because I think that's where he would go here. So I'm gonna go with the uber upside guy. I don't know if he's gonna be able to move into the guard spot. Shout out to my guy DeJuan Jones. I'm gonna go with DeJuan here. I think just him going and weighing like a house and built like a house at the combine, people are gonna fall in love with him. So I mean, I'm gonna go with it. I like DeJuan Jones. I think that he's nothing but upside. So I went there. It is what it is. I know
Oh, they
people ain't
took
gonna
my
like
edge
that.
guy. Oh, they took my edges. Oh, they took my quarterback. Oh, they took a deep. They taking all our guys.
Yeah.
Guys I want.
They took Hendon Hooker pretty early. I respect
Yes.
that. Though. I respect that.
And he's hurt. I don't know about that. And they took Zach Cabernet right before us.
Right before, yeah. Damn, what running backs are you left? I know it's your turn. I'm sorry, but you got
No,
Devin Chain here.
go to running back right quick.
Yeah, here we go. This is the running backs right here.
Ooh, you see, They would say because I guess that is Israel. Oh man, a lot. Sean Tucker. There's a lot of good guys right here. Tank Bigsby, Sean Tucker. I like Sean Tucker, Tajay Spears. But you know what? I don't care. I told you I was gonna make people mad. Devon a Chain. I'm taking him.
I respect it. I like Devon. That boy fast. That boy
We
fast,
need, we
fast.
need, we need that speed. Feel me? We
Oh,
got
they
fast
took
guys right
Marvin.
now.
They took my guy
Y'all
Marvin.
gonna be signing Ezekiel Elliott, so I'm bringing them back.
All right, so far I got myself an edge in Tyree Wilson. I got myself an offensive house, just an offensive lineman, in DeJuan Jones. Let me see what I don't like there. And Kalijah Cansey's still here. I'll tell you this right now: if Kalijah Cansey is still here at this pick, and the Eagles don't take him, like I feel dumb for not taking him right now, but it's like I doubt that he'll really be there,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to make this too unrealistic. Um, Let me think. I think Part of me wants Eli Ricks. Part of me wants Jack Campbell.
Mm,
That's where I'm at right now. Part of me wants
mhm,
Eli Ricks. Part of me wants Jack Campbell.
mhm.
And I know people are like, Joe, grab a running back. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if when we start doing our 7 round pick drafts, I can almost guarantee you that I'm gonna take Muhammad Ibrahim in the like 7th round because he's there every single time, and I think he's one of the better running backs in this draft, one of the better all around running backs in this draft. But I am gonna go with I think linebacker. I think I'm gonna go with Jack Campbell. I love this kid, man. I mean, he didn't do anything crazy at the combine. Didn't have crazy numbers anywhere. Trenton Simpson is not on the board. I think he went at number 20.
Yeah,
But yeah, either way, like I love this kid, and I think sue me for saying this, but I think he's probably the best all-around linebacker in this draft. Just seeing him be able to do a little bit of everything. So I had to go there. I think he's the last really good linebacker. There's some decent guys on here. Overshawn isn't bad. Diaby isn't bad. All right. And then what you doing here? Tank Bigsby on the board. Byron Young, I like him a lot.
Bigsby's nice.
This kid made a name for himself. I'm surprised he is
Oh,
even
yeah,
still on the board.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's even on the board. Jaden Reed is the guy the Eagles were talking to at the combine. I know you don't care about any of that, but
Hell no, but I keep my eye on it. I keep my eye on it.
Is there a certain position you want me to go to?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad.
It's my turn. You doing back? Okay. Let's see. Scroll. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and take that Maisie Smith.
Mozzie Smith.
Mozzie Smith from Michigan.
Yeah, he's good. Damn. They took my guy. I was trying not to say nothing, so you didn't take him. They took both of them. I was gonna take Kendre Miller just to be like, I know these guys talk to him, so this is they messed my whole spiel up, man. I had a whole spiel. And Hoodlum, it's one of your people's. Hoodlum, please explain to me how Jack Campbell doesn't fit the Eagles defense. I want to know that. I want to know why. And I'm really not saying that to like talk junk. I'm just I'm just really asking. I really am asking. Because I think Dank Burrito just said it perfectly. That's exactly what I see in Campbell. He's a rich man's TJ Edwards. He does a little bit of everything really good. So saying they're mad that I didn't take Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith, I got to do a little bit more research into the actual tape, but I don't know. I'm not going to fall in love with just because he ran a fast 4. I got to watch more. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying I got to watch a little bit more tape before I make that type of decision. So far, the Eagles have, I should say, Tyree Wilson, DeJuan Jones, and Jack Campbell. This would be our last pick, obviously, in this one. And this is going to be a tough one. I want to just highlight a couple of players because there is some people. All right, I almost have to take. I almost have to take either Jair Brown. This is going to be tough, actually. I don't want to highlight nobody anymore. I just want to think for a second. Israel's an impressive physical guy. He was fun to talk to as well. Byron Young, I love, and we could definitely use the defensive tackle. But the reason why I like Kalijah Kancey over a guy like a Byron Young or even really a Brian Bresee is because Kalijah Kancey replaces immediately what we're losing in a Javon Hargrave. And I would go as far as saying his ceiling might be even higher than what Hargrave is. So, that's why I like him. Jaden Reed, I know that they're talking to him. Let me look real quick. Will McDonald's still here is actually very surprising. Sam Laporta. Trey Dean there. People hate Trey Dean for some reason. I keep seeing people say he's trash.
Yeah.
I kind of like him. He's like a poor man's like Chauncey Gardner. Realistic. He's like a poor man's Antonio Johnson. Done a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll stop. I'm gonna stop going on the soliloquy, and I'm gonna finally pick. I think I'm gonna go Jair Brown here. Again, he's another guy that's just kind of a little bit of everything. He'll give you a little bit of everything. Keep him in Pennsylvania. I like that pick. We need a safety. This is assuming we don't get my guy back. Let's see what the. I think you guys have one more pick, and then that's it. Tanner McKee finally comes off the board. Mekhi Gardner, Andrew Voorhees is going to be such an interesting prospect because now
Right.
that he tore his ACL, Riley Moss had a good combine.
Dang. All right, do me a favor. Go to offensive linemen like guards, interior.
This is just guards.
This is just guards.
Man, this is centers. Jalen Scruggs is a good player. And then offensive outside tackles, excuse me.
Yeah, we ain't gonna mess with no tackles. It either have to be a center or a guard. Now I'm not on point with the so I might drop the ball with this because I'm not on point with the offensive lineman right now. So I might drop the ball with this. So I'm not even gonna go there. I'm told you I'm making people mad. Go to receiver.
Mingo impressed the hell out of me. Wilson too. They looked really
Mhm.
good. Like Michael Wilson, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really knew too much about him. Like I saw his name a couple times, but watching
Mhm.
him run the drills, I was like, bro, this kid. How tall is 6'1"? He felt way taller than that, and the and the way he ran through his drills, it was just so fluid. Like this man did not come off that line at one. It was impressive watching him. Jonathan Mingo too. Mingo was
I
just
like
he was balling.
see, I like that Tyler Scott kid. He's
He
fast,
was
and then
balling.
they got
He's good.
Nathaniel Dell over there. He's in the fourth. That wouldn't be bad. Parker Washington. Um, is they also is that one kid from SMU there too? His name is Rice, Rasheen something.
Rasheed Rice,
Yeah, is he still in there?
I think he might have went. Yeah, he went.
Yeah, he went. Okay, go to edgy guys for me right quick. Hmm. Ooh wee. This fourth pick I probably would go with a guard, but I don't know him all like that. So in my head, I would go offensive lineman right here, big dog, but I don't know him all like that. So let's go on a receiver. I said I'm gonna be dangerous. I've been going with speed, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the little guy. I'm gonna jump out there and get the little guy. Should I get the little guy? Should I get the big guy? Should I get Michael Wilson, the big guy, or should I get the little guy? I'm gonna go with Michael, your boy from Stanford, because I'm trying to think how they do it. I would get Nathaniel Dell right here in the fourth round, right here. I would get him in the fourth round, but I feel like Michael Wilson would be more of a bigger guy that they would want. I don't know. You know what? No, I'm gonna be dangerous, Nathaniel Dell, because I'm gonna say they're gonna go ahead and get an OBJ, just to say they get an OBJ or they get a Hopkins. You want a fast guy. He's even though he's 165, he's not a tiny 165. You know what I'm saying? He's not like
Yeah,
even like how your boy Devontae Smith is. Even though he's small, he can look like he can handle it because I don't think he's
yeah,
just
he can
going to
still
get
bang with you.
yeah, I don't think he's going to just be getting smacked everywhere because he knows how to play. So I'm gonna jump out there and be dangerous, Nathaniel Dell in the fourth round. And yeah, I should have got offensive lineman, but I ain't mad at this draft from my perspective. Tell me
Yeah,
how
so
y'all
you
feel,
said
Cowboys
Nathaniel Dow.
Nation.
Nathaniel
Yep.
Dow. All right, let's get the results.
See what kind of grade they gave me.
I don't think they graded in this one.
Oh, they
That's why
don't
we're gonna
grade this
switch to
one.
PFF because I don't like this one. Their rankings were terrible. So we'll let you start since it started on you. You can go over your players that you got.
All right, so and I want my Cowboys fans in the chat to let me know how y'all felt I did in the draft. Like I said, obviously I probably would have got an offensive lineman maybe on that fourth round pick, but I don't know them all like that, so I don't want to jump out there and say I do. But my first pick, Deontay Banks. Cowboys need a corner. You got Trevin Diggs. You don't know if he's getting re-signed because we know how the Cowboys play those games, but Let's say you got Diggs in the fold, he gets re-signed. You got your opposite guy possibly in Deron Bland who can't win the 5th round, right? You still have your young guys, Izzy Mukamu, who really turned up. He's a 6'3", 6'4" corner safety, but he was playing a lot in the slot. He's trending up. You could cut a Anthony Brown and re-sign him for the cheap. I don't think he's going to have a market. You could get him back on the low for depth. And then you got to figure out what you're going to do with Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright. While you're figuring that out, you get a guy like this, legit. He's a 6 foot, 195 pounds, 4'3", 40-inch vertical, tested well all the way through, and the tape is beautiful. All I needed to see was that combine because he already had the tape. Now, once I seen that combine, that speed, I really got excited. The only thing I said hurts him is ball skills, but you already got a guy who's got ball skills, and Mukamu's got some ball skills as well. So I love that pick for myself. Devon Chain, our running back. Now, I took a chain because there was a lot of other running backs there. Bell cow guys, the Tank Brigsby, those guys that could really tote the rock. But I'm thinking you signed Tony Pollard. You were hearing heavily that Jerry Jones wants them to make it work with Ezekiel Elliott. Let's say you bring in Ezekiel Elliott back at the reduced rate. You got your power back in Ezekiel Elliott. You still have your speed back. You still have the same dynamic. Why not get a guy who can really space the field, really just turn it up? He can return some kicks. He can possibly return some punts. You can get him in space. You can do a lot of things with him, and he's electric. You saw him at the combine, and when he gets in that open space, he just hurts things. So I'm like, let's have an explosive offense, right? We were lacking some things in explosive on offense. That's right there. Then we go on the defensive side. Defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. He 34 on the bench press. He's 6'3", 335 pounds. He's a big boy. He's agile. He can pressure the ball. We need another big boy. If you bring back and sign Jonathan Hankins, Quentin Bohanna's been okay, but this is a big boy who can really. They say he's probably one of the best big men in the draft right now at the tackle position, and he's in the 3rd round. I couldn't pass that up. And you need somebody to stuff that middle and keep your linebackers clean, right? We had that issue with linebackers not being clean, but when we got Hankins in there, linebackers started playing better. So big guys mean something. And then on my 4th-round pick, obviously I was still thinking guard because I think they're going to tap that offensive line, but receiver. I'm saying that they made a big move and got either Hopkins or OBJ, and you already got a CD Lamb. You have a Michael Gallup coming back. You have a Jalen Tolbert. All those guys are tall, right? Except possibly OBJ's only 5'11". But now you got a small guy who actually can run routes. Turpin's good, but we don't know what the receiver he is. But this guy's a bona fide receiver. This guy has legit numbers. I watched his tape in some games. He plays strong. He doesn't play small. He plays strong. He plays fast. And he's an element that once you get him in the ball, we're going to go a lot of slant routes. We get the ball out their hands quick. Yards after the catch. This guy can do it, and he's explosive. Obviously, he didn't run the fastest 40. He said he was going to run fast. We thought he was going to run the 4.3s. He came in at a 4.4. But I think playing speed is something to say something about as well. And I like what he can bring to the table. Instant offense. You can mix him in there in your 3-4 receiver sets. So I like how that went, and those are my picks for the Dallas Cowboys.
I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. Now we're going to head on over to the Eagles. I like this. I actually do like this. Would I have wanted a cornerback? Of course. But the way it worked out, I just don't think we would have got a really good one at that price. So anyway, we go with Tyree Wilson at number 10 out of Texas Tech. I don't think he'll be there, if I'm being 100% honest. I don't know if Tyree makes it out of the top 5, top 6. So if he does make it to 10, I do not see the Eagles being able to say no to that. Obviously, just has the size, speed, the strength, he's got a lot of everything. He needs to refine his game, and there is still a lot of projection to what he can be in the NFL. But I think he can hit that ceiling, and I think he can, hit it with a stride. I think he'll be very good day one. So I would be ecstatic to get, a guy like that on our line. And I know a lot of people will kind of go back against getting an edge because I know we have a Hassan Reddick, that is a rusher. We have, Josh Sweat, who's been playing very well. Possibility we bring a Brandon Graham back. But with Brandon Graham isn't going to Exactly. And we love our rotation, and Brandon Graham isn't going to be here forever. And even Hassan Reddick, it allows you to just give him that rest. So 2 is way better than 3. I mean, 3 is way better than 2. So Tyree Wilson makes sense no matter what however you spin it. DeJuan Jones, I think we're going to go offensive line a lot earlier than people are expecting, maybe even earlier than at 30. But if we're at 30 and you're seeing yourself with a couple options and DeJuan Jones is one of them, I think that you're getting yourself a guy that is uber potential. He can be a disgusting player in this league just because of his size and his rare athleticism combo. It's just very impressive to see what he's able to do. He's like 6'8", just an absolute house. I think somebody said that on the NFL Network, that he just is a house. And that was a perfect way to put what he is. You put him with a guy like Jeff Stoutland. We already know that Lane Johnson has said he only wants to play 2 or 3 years. Maybe you're able to get DeJuan Jones to move to the inside for a little bit, or, maybe he's just a guy in a year or two when Lane Johnson does decide to hang it up. You have a guy ready to go. So I would love a DeJuan Jones. Jack Campbell, I know that there's going to be people on both sides because he doesn't flash. Like, he's not one of those guys that's like, oh my God, what did he just do? But he is a very good player, and he's a very good all-around player. So that's a guy I would love to have on this Eagles team. And I think it was Dank Burrito that said it. I think you said it perfectly. He's a rich man's TJ Edwards, just a better player. I like him a lot. Shout out to Mr. Rudy Poo, though, with the $5 super chat. He said, damn, Joe, I guess it's Zach McPherson season. Next draft, I'll get us a cornerback. Just the way it fell, I just didn't feel like, I felt like it was a reach. I wasn't going to take Emmanuel Forbes in the first just because I wanted to get a cornerback.
Right.
But yeah, so Jack Campbell, I like that pick in the second round. Might be able to get him in the third round. Jair Brown's a guy I don't talk about much, to be honest. Obviously, I'm a Penn State fan, so I got to watch him play a lot. I think that he gives you a little bit of everything. He doesn't necessarily give you anything at like a high clip, but he gives you a little bit of everything. I think there's athleticism there. He's able to come down into the box when you need him to. I think he will be kind of a project. He'll be kind of somebody that you're maybe taking a couple weeks, maybe a full off season, or maybe a full year to really figure out what he's going to be best at for you at this level. But I also feel like he's going to be a really good player once that's figured out. So I like him a lot. I did get the link. I appreciate you, Dang. But I like him a lot, and I think that that's a guy that could really help the Eagles. So I'm all about helping the Eagles, and I think he can do that. So that is,
Hey,
let me
do
put
me
up
a
the
favor.
chat.
Go back to mine. Can you go back to mine again, or you already closed it?
Yeah, no, you good.
Yeah, go back to mine again. I'm just taking a screenshot.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Let me take down the chat one more time. Bang, yeah. Let us know. Y'all screenshot it too. We got 80 people in the chat. Y'all screenshot it. If y'all got Twitter, y'all can roast us on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Let us know how y'all feeling. Y'all got Facebooks. We all got Facebook. We all got everything. So go ahead. Hey, we want to hear what y'all thinking, how y'all feel about these drafts, because that's the only way we're gonna improve from them. You know what I'm saying? Go look at these guys that y'all randomly tell us about. That's how I find a lot of people out, to be honest. They're like, you got to go watch this guy, and then you end up doing it, and it's like, okay, I see why you like him.
A lot of people out there knowledgeable too. Just because they ain't on TV or are on air, don't mean they don't know stuff.
Exactly. We all learning together, man. We all learning together. But let's pop this chat back up. All right. So that was our draft. You guys let us know what you're thinking. But that is about our time, man. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat, man. This
Hey,
was a fun
Dank
one.
said I beat you on this one. He said I got all the favorite guys.
Oh, he said you did? Oh yeah, BG one. One of your boys said that I did. I got a B minus, so I'll take a B minus. When our chats are complimenting the other, I think that we did good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'll take it. I would take it.
Yeah, I would take it too. I don't feel bad about that draft for real.
but yeah, no. So we're gonna keep. Obviously, I'm back now, so no more weeks off. Hopefully, until the next event that hopefully I can cover. Right. Hopefully, we're both at the draft this year. That's something we should push for. But I think it'll be fun. But either way, you got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we get out of here?
No, just continue to support, man. Y'all seen what we did last year. You know what we need to do, Joe, is we need to what we need to do is we need to go through our players we did last year and kind of put those players up and see how they kind of did this past year and kind of evaluate, you know, who we like. Because I was going through the draft and looking at certain players like the draft, like oh, I can't say his name, Aquinao, something like that. He's the tight end. He was a rookie tight end for the Titans. I liked him a lot. I really wanted to draft him, and he had a really good year with the Tennessee Titans. And there were some other players that I was high on, had some decent years. So I think we should go back, pull up our players that we kind of liked from last year, or maybe the year before that, but specifically last year because we had our draft, and kind of say, hey, these are the people we kind of liked, and look how they did. You know what I'm saying? As we head into our new 2023 draft, make sure you just continue to support us. You know, we're doing our thing on Jajayan. We're trying to grow. We're trying to do big things out there. So continue to, like I said, support our best of enemies. It's going to be another exciting draft. I love how we do these, and then we'll eventually get to our 7th round. Keep hitting that like, keep hitting that subscribe, and keep doing the thing. This thing is going to keep on growing. It grew from very small from last year, and now look what we're doing. I think it's going to get even bigger when we do year 2 on the season. So appreciate everybody. Love everybody, and let's keep this thing going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, like you said, man, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But like y'all, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know how it always goes down, man. I'm Joe, and that is James, and we are the best of enemies. Peace.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're